Our next guest has sold 3 million albums. She's a Christian artist who also hosts a hit show on GSN that's going into its second season called It Takes a Church. And Natalie, welcome to the show. And before we get into season 2, give us an overview of the show.
You know, it's a dating show in the church. Now, when you first hear that, I know that's terrifying to most people. It was terrifying to me when I first heard the concept. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, of course, it's a perfect idea. Why would we not? You know, the growing population of the church are singles. It's the fastest growing segment of the church. And where are we telling these people that they're supposed to meet, you know, someone that they can spend forever with? A club, online? No, church is the perfect place to find someone that you share commonality with, common interests, and a common faith. And so the church acts as matchmakers, and we ambush the single. They don't have any idea that it's happening, and which is terrifying and funny all at the same time. And the church actually brings, you know, suitors that they think would be appropriate for the single, and then they vote. The church decides who the single gets to know a little bit better. Now, of course, we do give the single the power in the end. They get to make the final decision. But it's just a really sweet, family-friendly. I've got young children. I can watch this show with my kids. You can sit around as a family. It's got great human interest stories. It's funny. It's endearing. It's just a great show.
Well, Natalie, with you at the helm, love is in the air. And what advice do you give lovebirds out there as far as finding the one?
Well, you know, I've never known that I fully buy into the idea that there's the one, but I do think that it takes work on both sides. And you find that person that you choose and decide to make a commitment with, then you have to be, you know, you can't fall for this whole romanticized idea that it's just going to be, you know, romance and roses and perfect. You actually have to choose that you're going to put the work in to have a successful relationship. I've been married for 15 years, and both my husband and I made a decision that we were going to be committed to our marriage and committed to putting in the work. And I think that the most important side outside of just the romance is really learning how to love yourself. And if you can love and accept yourself, then you're going to be so much better at loving and taking care of someone else.
Well, certainly good advice. I'm single, never married, so when I hear the word work, it doesn't sound fun, but I know that in the end it's quite rewarding. But let's move on. We know that The Bachelor on the ABC hasn't had much success with getting couples together. So how are you guys doing on your show? Are there a few still going?
We do. And, you know, it's hilarious. I'm the host of the show, not a matchmaker, and I think it's probably pretty good because on the first season, the only couple that I was like, that will never work, they're the only ones that are still together. So, turns out I'm not a matchmaker, I'm just a host. But this new season, there's several of them that are still together, actually. I feel like we're going to have a much better success rate in season 2. And I'm really excited that on these episodes, we're giving updates on where the couples are at. And I think that that's something the viewers really wanted to see in season 1. So we heard you, viewers, and now you'll get updates in season 2.
Well, Natalie, it certainly sounds fun, but one thing that's angelic is your voice. Absolutely love it. Can't wait to see you in concert in Atlanta soon. But given your tremendous success, what have you learned on your journey that has served you well?
I recently read a quote that said, "To those who believe in dreams, chase them. Chase them until you're out of breath and then keep running." And I love that. Just don't give up. You know, I feel like I'm living the impossible. What once was a hairbrush is now a real microphone. And you have to put in the hard work, but when it seems like the odds are against you, you have to determine that you're going to keep running after your dream, and that you just won't accept a closed door.
Well, I'm sure you were quite cute when you were singing in that brush, but I'm so glad your dreams have come true. We get to enjoy them. We're looking forward to season 2 of It Takes a Church on GSN Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Conn. Thanks for having me.